Machismo Eugene. Welcome to another video from Exit Strategy. I don't have my glasses on. I have them here, but I'm not going to wear them. I can pretty much see. Please like, subscribe, share. Give this video a thumbs up if you found it helpful. And pass it along if you believe someone else would benefit from it. I'd appreciate that. Have you ever met someone or crossed someone's path? Say a girl, if you're a guy, and it was just something that captivated her or captivated you about her to the point where you even started to behave differently. You started to move around differently in that person's presence, and they were a total stranger. Let's say if you saw them in the library or grocery store or Walmart, and you just begin to start moving different. I won't say giddy, I won't say childlike, but you would begin to move in a way that was not genuinely how you normally move. You begin to move a little more concentrated, a little more deliberate. I've observed this outside of me before, and so that's why I want to talk about it, because this is going to resonate with someone, maybe many people. And the why I'm talking about this is because it's going to help you understand how covert individuals move, especially as it pertains to the narcissist. Have you ever heard the old saying, the quietest person in the room is often the most dangerous person in the room? I'll take the often out and I'll say the quietest person in the room is almost always the most dangerous person in the room. Especially if we're talking about a covert narcissist. Their whole claim of fame is built into their covert quietness. And back to point of when you meet a person or you cross someone's path, in that scenario, that example I gave of when you meet this person or you happen upon this person, you don't formally introduce yourself to them. You just see them from afar, maybe a few feet away, or a few feet away, a few yards away, and it's just something that captivates you about them, the way that they move, the way they appear in essence, or their presence, and you begin to start moving differently. Now hold that thought. Looking back at most of the relationships that you got yourself into, looking back at them, and now you know undeniably those that were narcissists, is that something that resonates with you or not? It definitely does with me. And likewise, this is what happens with the narcissists, I believe. They are taken aback, but for different reasons, or for a different set of reasons. You're captivated by this person because you can see something in them. A lot of times that is not there. You can see more in them that is really there, which belies the issue you dealt with when you got invested with the narcissist. You saw more in them that really was that was really there. You gave them more credit than they were due. And so often the narcissist will oversell the product in the first place. They will move in a way where they are captivating. They will move in a way where it draws you in. Most of the time it's a physicality, and other times it's just, we call it the essence of how they're moving. But what we didn't know then and know now, if you didn't know now, I'm going to help you understand. The narcissist is really reflecting a lot of times your essence back to you, because they've observed you before you observe them. And if they didn't observe you before you observed them, they are mimicking good behavior based on someone they've been involved with. Pretty much most often a victim that they have been involved with. They have copied and pasted their movement, their etiquette, and thereby you're under the illusion of this essence that they're moving in, that is them. But it's an illusion. Now I'm drawing off of this topic because I don't know, some time ago I did a video and I told you about this narcissist woman that baked me a cake. I got her to do a lot of the leg work for my birthday. I have a screenshot of that birthday cake. One day I'll probably put it in the tag or the video, or I'll probably put it in a short. Not certain, but probably won't even do it. There's no need to prove that. But she wrote with the icing thing that you can squeeze. She wrote my first name so haphazardly a 2-year-old could have done better. And what happens is, these are little kids. These people are little kids. They do something. This is overselling the product. Good case in point. They are doing things and they say, do you like it? And here you are. Wow, that's great. Not knowing that you really should just say, that's substandard. That's terrible. But in this matrix, we are built. It's built into our wiring of how we are what am I trying to say? Conditioned to accept any and everything. Now, this is parallel to what I'm saying is when we see this person that is captivating us, we're conditioned to see the best in someone. But awakened empaths and chosen ones, our critical thinking has gone through the roof. We actually observe things in a very critical way. Subconsciously, it's built into our awakeness. Has nothing to do with judging someone. It is like the Terminator when he was in the movie. He was able to detect the threat. It's probably the best way to say this. And so, back to my initial point, when we meet people or they make us start to even move a different way and behave a different way, see if we're doing something within a capacity or store. We're shopping and you see this associate stocking merchandise. They're drawing you in by their essence, but they're a narcissist. They are changing the way that they are moving because they're probably captivated by your presence. It's an energy, actually. It's not even the presence is an energy. And likewise, you begin to move up and down that aisle a different way too. It's almost like a telepathy you and that person shares, and it draws you into one another. I observed the son of this woman who baked this cake for me and drew it like a 2-year-old with the icing on the cake. So he was at a service station waiting on a sub sandwich. He was getting a sub prepared. And I've seen him in the last couple of weeks. I've seen him a couple of times. The way that this kid moves, he's very silent. He has this smile on his face, like he's in this Zen mode. But it's all an illusion. Because since I've been awakened, every time I happen upon him, he stares at me, gives me eye contact when we're talking. So it's almost like a competition of a stare down. But what he's staring at me for is a set of different reasons. He's staring at me because I'm beginning to move differently, act differently. My essence is different. I'm cordial, but in a different way. I'm not as giddy and overzealous to see him. I'm very concentrated in my conversation with him or exchange of words. My words are few because I'm here to tell you his presence disturbs. It doesn't wholeheartedly disturb me, but it's disturbing in a sense where I want no part of it. And as opposed to before, I would engage and have a lengthy conversation with them. And you'll find yourself as an empath awakened, you're having less and less of that kind of conversation with these people because you know the stench that is on them. You don't want it to get on you. This is the way it has to be. Call it what you will. Judging, judgmental, condescending, egotistical on my part. Whatever you would like to label this as, that is fine and well. But awakened empaths, chosen ones who are here, you undeniably understand exactly where I'm going with this. Unless you protect your energy, you open yourself up to any type of parasite. You're susceptible to any type of germ by way of narcissist. And back to that point of him waiting on that sub, I saw an associate at this particular service station. I sensed that they began to move differently because I was taking in a few things. So just observed casually, getting my merchandise. And the associate spoke to me. And they spoke, but it was apparent that their whole movement was very much different than it normally is. And I saw that as because they had walked past this narcissist kid that I'm speaking of. And in that moment, I believe they began to become entranced in that person's aura, the narcissist kid, because he's a fairly handsome guy. And like I say, he smiles. And everywhere he goes, it is just something within his spirit that tells me con artist, manipulator, conniving. See, we read this in these people because all it is an illusion. It's a front. It's a front of a much deeper situation. And so I wanted to highlight that to you guys because you have to understand that these people, whereas covert narcissists are concerned, all of them have a level of covertness to them because, again, you know, when we talk about they have no identity of their own, they're always cutting and pasting other people's personalities. They're always stealing identities. They'll watch TV just for the purpose of trying to create this kind of persona for themselves. You know, we all learn and embrace and adopt certain things from people, both good and bad. But to a severe degree is what a narcissist does it for. They don't have their own individuality. I've said that many times before. And if you look back, you'll understand why that this person you were living with for 10 years, they began to act in ways that you didn't even recognize before. Because that's when the ball dropped. That's when the mask finally gave way. And it had given way probably many times throughout the 10 years. But we were so asleep, they were able to maneuver and throw a monkey wrench in there to redeem themselves, to where it took your mind off of everything that you were thinking about. When your intuition was telling you you should have been paying attention, you began to pass it off and you didn't even give it a second thought. So I want you guys to really go back into this video, and if some of this stuff is confusing to you that I'm talking about, go back, rewind this video, and try to capture the whole essence of what I'm saying, because this is in the subtleness of the narcissist, is how they're able to both capture us, captivate us, and ultimately get us in their web and destroy us. So we really do have to be very mindful of how these people can draw us in, even when with their silence. As opposed to trying to be caught up on the looks and the exteriors, we need to really just read their energy wholeheartedly and don't get blinded by the physicalities. That being said, bless.